Okay, here we are at Engle Acres, Hezekion again. That's what I call my yard, my place of quietness. Hezekion is the Greek word for place of stillness and quiet. And that's what I want this to be. And that's one reason that I'm sort of engaged with clearing the land, because otherwise it just seems to me that untamed nature is taking over and doing whatever it wants. And to me that's not good. One of my ongoing projects on this property is to get rid of the vines, especially the grapevines. And here's one right here. This is not the biggest I've seen. It looks like it's about 1.5 inches in diameter. It goes straight up into that tree. And I already cut it, so it's dead. Eventually it will fall down unless I pull it down quicker. But somewhere underground, oh, and there's another one. Somewhere underground are the roots of that vine, and they are even more extensive than the amount that goes 60 feet up that tree and spreads out up there someplace. So, of course, there's no way I would ever get them all, and I'm not imagining that I could do that, even if I had the energy to do that. But my intent is to get enough of them that I disrupt them and begin to reclaim more of the ground for myself. So if you look right here, see those grapevines right there? That tells me that if I dig a little bit, I'm going to start to get to those roots. I see those all over the place. There's another one. Now, it just so happens that I've already kind of worked through this particular spot quite a bit, so there aren't too many right here. But where I'm focusing now is further down slope in the yard. And it even occurred to me that I should bring the camera out and have it going while I'm digging these up, because that would be sort of instructive and, just the record of how difficult that was. Right here is a huge bunch of these leaves. So that tells me that when I get to this spot, which shouldn't be happening before too long, I'm gonna get up a very big one. This area, as I've pointed out, was once just a thicket of mostly pine trees. Pine trees, and each pine tree had one or two of those huge vines growing up into it. So not only did I have to cut down the tree, after I cut it down, I had to log it, branch it, pull the vines off of it, haul all that down to the fire pit and burn it. Season after season is what I was working on there. And I'm not done. But I suppose it's good. It helps keep me healthy, I think. And this is what I was working on today. What I'm doing actually right now is way less exciting and interesting than cutting down the trees. I'm raking. But in some places, the leaves that I'm raking up are 12 to 18 inches deep. It's not just one season's worth of leaves. It might be 20 years worth of leaves that were never raked. And so all of these poison ivy and the other kinds of vines, the grapevines, and everything else has just been allowed to flourish under there, and imagine that it's their yard, they can do what they want. And I'm saying, no, not anymore. So this is where I propose to work tomorrow. I can see that there's a lot right there, vines that I'm going to be getting up. And here's some that have not yet been pulled down from the trees. I tried to yank on them by hand and they wouldn't come. So when they won't come by hand, there's only two options. Option one, you ignore them and wait for them to dry up and fall off, because I've already cut them and they're dead. Option two, if I don't like that and I hate how it looks hanging down, get out the ATV, tie a rope to them and just yank them down. It's happened quite a few times. It's dead. There they are on the ground. And I still can't pull it down. So this is all about making the land good again, making our property useful. I've looked at some old videos that I made and I can see, wow, such a difference. In times past, the way I'm pointing this now, you couldn't see, 5 feet in front of you would be where the forest began, and you wouldn't be able to see anything more. Whereas now, you can see the other edge of our property. You can see the boundary over there where I've got the logs stacked with tarps over them. You can see the fire pit. The fire pit itself is a new development, because at one point I had no idea there was a pit there. There's too many trees and bushes and vines covering up the area. But once I eventually cleared that out, I discovered 2 pits here. Now you may say, I don't see a pit, I just see 2 big piles. Yeah, that's how many leaves and branches I have been raking up just since May. May was the beginning of the fire ban season where we are, which unfortunately goes for 6 months. So that means that since then, and right now is the end of June, since then, this is the amount of raking I've been doing, trying to clear out the vines and the leaves so that we could actually see what our property looks like. And you can see the vines, the roots. Well, when I say vines now, I'm mostly talking about the roots of the vines, which are those chocolatey looking things. And you can't tell from this just how big and long they are, but believe me, see, there's the grape leaves, and they come out in a node right there to the ground, and I just have to pull them up. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't, and then they have to be cut. Here's more of the same. Like I was saying, there's actually a pit under each of these piles, a fairly deep pit that was created inadvertently before we had this property. I think around 20 years ago, maybe, there was a significant tornado in this area, and it actually blew down a bunch of trees. And whoever was here at that time didn't know what to do with them, so they buried them right there. They buried them there. Now what happens when you bury trees is that the wood decomposes, and it's not like soil. It decomposes and then takes up less space, and then you have this hole, this pit that develops. So anyway, when I had cleared out enough trees here to see this area, I saw these pits and I went, wow, that's great. That means I don't have to try to burn all this stuff in a tiny little metal thing anymore. So that's what I've been doing there. And my intention is, perhaps tomorrow, the main objection has been that I get so hot and dirty and sweaty that I don't want to touch the camera, but I think that it would be worthwhile to document what I'm doing for myself, if nothing else, to see what's been done here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put out the camera, and you will be amazed to see some of the length of these vines that come out of the ground, their roots. Till then.